guys, Chad here. Now, this is the latest episode of Inside Look into Planetside, and we are looking at the Combat Medic. Yes, that wonderful gentleman who will keep you alive on the battlefield and revive you if you happen to have taken a bullet to the face. So, what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at the certifications for said medic. Now, universal certifications. These are certifications that everybody can get. You can see medical kits, you can see restoration kits, which is essentially a heal over time rather than a sudden burst heal, and strong arm, which sounds like the guy from Terry Pratchett, strong in the arm crossbows, enables you to throw grenades greater distances. Now, let's have a look at explosives, because what medic doesn't need C4? So you can unlock C4, improve your capacity, and also nanite healing device that you can throw, and a nanite revive grenade, which are very, very helpful. Means if you're in combat and you don't want to move out to a location that may be coming under fire, but you still want to revive people, you can chuck a nanite revive grenade at them, and then a nanite healing grenade. So very helpful indeed. Good for the battlefield. Now, suit modifications. These have been unlocked in the beta recently. Now, what you've got is you've got an adrenaline regulator, which constantly heals the soldier even while under fire. Extremely helpful. Advanced shield capacitor restores health over time when not taking damage. Flak armor, as you can see, not much to actually unlock these. Flak armor decreases the amount of damage taken from explosions. Grenade bandolier allows additional grenades to be carried, and nano weave armor. So all looking good there. That will all improve your general survivability. Now, what we'll do is we'll close that and we'll look at suit modifications. Now, no, we've already looked at that. We will look at triage. Now, basically this one will allow a combat medic to passively heal others that share a vehicle with him. So you get inside the vehicle, the tank, and the sunderer, things of that nature, then you get all that wonderful healing goodness from your nearby medic. Very helpful. Hasn't been unlocked yet, but will be interesting to try. Now, nano healing, combat medic. This is the bread and butter of the combat medic. Unfortunately not unlocked yet, so we're waiting to test this. However, nano regen device disperses medical nanites, basically will heal nearby wounded soldiers. You're talking about an AoE heal. Now, very, very helpful when you're on the battlefield. All you got to do is stand by people and it will heal them. Nano emitter can be placed in combat situations to heal nearby soldiers, equivalent of a medic kit. Drop it on the floor, heal everybody in the nearby vicinity. Now that's very interesting. Can be placed to shield and heal nearby soldiers. That's a barrier. And rebirth revives nearby fallen soldiers when used, so you could use it for multiple revives. And the Aegis barrier here, nanite burst. It's, I think, let's have a look. Yeah. So as you see, there's the Aegis barrier there. I think there's a little bit of a, yeah. So there's a little bit of a text problem there. So the Aegis barrier is called nanite burst, and nanite burst is called Aegis barrier. But if you look, you can expel strong wave of medical nanites, instantly healing all nearby wounded soldiers. So that's very helpful indeed. Now, let's check out the medical tools. Now, what you've got here is a medical applicator. And as you can see, you can revive people at point blank range, heals and revives them, and then you essentially increase the health regeneration, or you revive soldiers with more health. So when they come back off the floor, they've essentially got more health. Now, this one here fires IFF projectiles that can heal friendlies and infect enemies. That's very cool. Obviously it hasn't been unlocked yet, but will be interesting to see how that works against the enemies, whether or not it actually takes away their health or it drains one of their stats so that they can't essentially fight back. These are the unlocks for the Pulsar VS1, because we are looking at the Vanu Sovereignty as we speak. So, all the standard ammo options, suppressors, reflex sight, you'll see on the weapon that I've got, the reflex sight is 2 times. And you've got rails, and you've also got flashlight forward grips to control the recoil. The pistol beamer, pretty much the standard options there. So, let's go to the shop and see what kind of infantry weapons our combat medic can have. So, you've got here the Nova, the Pandora, and the Phobos. Now, these are essentially semi-automatic guns. So, sustained fire before requiring a new battery. Now, you've also got these, which are shotguns, combinations of Shotguns, as you can see, look, all looking very similar. You see the design, very modular, very similar, so you can tell what kind of gun it is just by looking at it. So that's the one that we've got unlocked at the moment. These are the pistols. Now you see semi-automatic, currently unavailable, Cerberus, semi-automatic, all that kind of stuff. See, magazine size, accuracy increasing. Now, this particular item here, very nice indeed. Standard battle rifle, as you can see, looks very nice indeed. Burst fire, and you've obviously moving down, you've got the Hydra, the Cygnus, and you can see essentially the high rate of fire. See, accuracy, fire rate, doesn't do a lot of damage, but it takes a little bit to reload, and it's looks pretty nice, as you can see. Doesn't that look sexy? So, obviously if you like purple. So, we're looking at all the various weapons. These are all the weapons that can be unlocked over the course of time for the medic class. Now you can see that could be standard sort of like... oh, look, there we go. The Thanatos is another semi-automatic, looks like a shotgun, and control distance fire for distance targets, things of that nature. So, plenty of weapon options for the combat medic. But what we are going to do is look at the existing weapon. Now, this is the default weapon that you've got. Now, there you can see the 2x reflex scope. So, what it does is you moves him. Now, the only thing is it actually changes the amount of view size that you've got left and right. So, it might be that you actually want to change that. Because if you look, you zoom in, you can see how much of the building on the left, and we lose the panel on the right. Now, that basically means that that will affect your peripheral fire. Now, what we're going to do quickly is we're going to go into the custom loadout for 1 second. Okay, let's customize this, and that's a standard reflex sight. So that's the 2x1. So you can see I can put a suppressor on it as well, and I can put a laser dot on it if I wish to. So that's combinations of all sorts of wonderful stuff there. Now, let's see if I can go into my certifications, and what I want to do is unlock the standard. Let's see if I can unlock that scope. So there is the standard reflex sight. See there? So we're going to certify that. There we go. We have now certified that. And we'll go back to our classes, go back to our certifications, primary weapons, customize, and you can see there standard reflex sight. So what we'll do is we will re-equip, and there you go. There's the standard reflex sight. Now you'll notice if we move over here to about the same position, see, you lose a lot less of your peripheral vision when you're using this particular sight, but obviously you don't get the zoom-in factor. So what you're talking about there is a trade-off. Depends what your playstyle is and what you prefer. So obviously I cannot say do this, do that, etc, etc. It's what you prefer. So let's see what the recoil pattern of this weapon is like. Now, this will be firing off the hip from about, I would say, short range. So no recoil control, and make sure, here we go. So you can see, look at that pattern, moving up slowly, reasonable amount of side to side spread, and obviously lots of recoil going upwards. Now what we'll also do is fire down the sight. Now, so back the same distance, firing down the sight, no recoil control. There we go. You'll also notice that the reload speed of this weapon is reasonably slowish, probably going on for 2, possibly 2.5 seconds. Now, there's the recoil pattern for firing down the sight with no recoil control. Now, this is for situations when you feel like you have to empty the entire magazine, which does sometimes happen. If you come across face-to-face with a max, you want to essentially unload as much fire into his face as you possibly can. Now, what we'll do is we'll do a quick recoil control version with fully auto, and then we'll show you a couple of burst fires. So here's the recoil control, and that's by slowly dragging the mouse down as you fire. Now, as you can see, look, the burst there, no bullets up here, significant improvement on the accuracy. So the question is, how do you ensure maximum accuracy? What you want to do is you can do burst fire. Now, if you do burst fire, this is with no recoil control at all. Watch. See how much that recoil is not affecting you. Look at that pattern. I mean, granted, it's not showing all the bullets, but that pattern is so much better than that pattern, or in fact, that pattern. So there is the benefit of burst fire. Obviously, when you're coming across maxes or things you need to damage very quickly, sometimes it's beneficial to unload as many rounds as possible. Now, let us resupply and check the pistol. So this is the pistol, standard loadout for the medic, and we'll just do a standard off the hip fire with no kind of recoil control. Now this is a semi-automatic weapon, so oh my god, look at that spread. That's actually over the top of the other spread. So let's go here. So that's right, we've reloaded. Okay, off the hip. A lot of spread on that, a lot of rise. Look, there's even a bullet right up there. So you can see, look at that. Oh my goodness, so much spread. Now, as you can imagine then, that this pistol is not really designed to be an offensive weapon, unless you start to beat somebody to death with it. Now, that's about as close as offensive weapon as you're going to get. But this is the kind of thing that if you run out of ammo and you're in a tricky situation, you can use it to damage them and run away. So this is down the side. No recoil control. There we go. You're still getting a reasonable amount of recoil. So that is your standard weapon. Now, moving to the healing gun, the wonderful healing gun. This is something, let's just see if we can find somebody who might be slightly damaged out here, which, as we are in this particular area, always occurs. Now, here we go. Here's a gentleman. Can we? Yeah, there we go. So there are the healing nanites being passed out to him. That's essentially how you heal one of your team. So you basically just click over them and click with the left mouse button, mouse wheel over, or not mouse wheel, sorry. Click on them with the left mouse button. As long as your gun is pointing at them, it should heal them. So let's see if there's anybody up here that needs a heal or possibly a revive. There we go, nice heal for that gentleman. Now, obviously, the drawback of these healing nanites is that they are visible to the enemy, which essentially means you'll be targeted. So, if you're going to heal people, try and heal them under cover, otherwise you could possibly find yourself being shot at an awful lot. More so than you do already. But, anyway, I guess we shall move on to the next faction, the Terran Republic. Stay tuned. Okay, this is the Terran Republic Combat Medic. Now, let's see what weapons he has. He has a pistol, or he has his big gun, and he has his healing device. Now, let's check out, see if there's any difference. As you can see, not much difference with the medical tools. Pretty much everything is the same. See, nano healing devices, all that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness, lots of... So there are plenty of things in here that we can select. So you can select barrel attachments, suppressors, reflex sight number 2, IRMV scope, we'll have one of them. And obviously laser dots, nice. So, and we'll have a foregrip, what the hell. Let's spend money, we've got it, damn it. So, what we're going to look at then is the actual weapons themselves. So, we are looking at the primary weapon of the Combat Medic. As you can see, these are bullet-based, as it is Terran Republic. You can see a magazine of 40 bullets, and let's check out to see what the recoil pattern is like. Off the hip firing. So there you have your fully auto pattern of bullety goodness. Now, as you can see, standard amount of rise there, little bit of movement left and right, so obviously firing down the sight is advantageous. So we'll do a firing down the sight option, full mag, and also no recoil control. Now see how much better that looks compared to that. Now bear in mind, obviously it started to lose a little bit as it went up to this other section. That's probably as a result of the building. So what we'll do now is we will do a down the sight option with recoil control, full magazine. Now, if you are standing in that particular area, you are going to get an awful lot of bullets your way. So you can see the recoil pattern there. We didn't even hit this section above here. Made a huge amount of difference. And that is it for this particular weapon, except for the burst fire. Now, if you want to fire with more control, rather than unloading into loads of people, as you probably would want to on a max, for example, you want to do burst fire, because what you are after is maximum accuracy with minimum recoil. Ooh, hello there. So, let me show you burst fire. Essentially, 3 to 5 bullets every time you press the mouse button. And that's with very little, if no, recoil control. Look at that. If you are that person standing there, you are dead. It's that simple. So, let's check out the pistol. Now, this pistol, oh my god, it's a slightly laggy and somewhat spazzy transport. Anyway, this sometimes happens, as we'll look at the pistol. Now, let's see what kind of fire we get. Triple shot pistol. Very nice indeed. Now, the trouble is what kind of recoil you're going to get. Off the hip firing. Let's see, firing the entire magazine. Oh, heavens, look at that. So much recoil. So much recoil. No recoil control on that. And also, if we do down the sight, just constantly pressing that fire button, as you can see, the recoil is pretty insane. So, the best option, obviously, is down the sight. Just keep tapping it. Somebody broke their liberator. As you can see, look at that recoil pattern. So much better. So much better. And your reload speed, pretty goddamn quick. Under a second, I would say. Now, let's just quickly double check. Let's do a quick reload check on this main weapon. There we go. As we're being bombed in the background. So there's a reload speed of 2 seconds, something like that, 1.5, 2 seconds. So obviously interesting from that point of view, and we shall now make a tally over to the new conglomerate. Stay tuned. And we are back with the new conglomerate, and it seems to be lovely weather at the new conglomerate Warpgate even, but it's kind of like it is outside at the moment. But obviously, as we're gamers, we don't want any direct sunlight to be pointed at us. There we go. Try and get rid of that. There we go. Direct sunlight not in our way. Anyway. Oh, doesn't he look wonderful? So, these are the weapons for the new conglomerate. Combat Medic. So, let's see how we get on. And what we'll do is we'll check the certifications. Now, the thing is, the certification's pretty much standard. You can see, obviously, the Gauss rifle. All that varies is the weapon, the recoil patterns, things of that nature. So, looking good, as you can see. Plenty of lovely things. Now, here's one thing that if you're in the beta is very helpful to know. See that available certification points? If you're not logged onto the character, it gives you a certain amount of certification points while you're logged off. If you want to try everything on the characters and have as many certifications points as possible, one thing you can do is create a character on every single server. Now, what that means is that when you log on to that server, if you haven't used that character in a while, you'll have a lot of certification points, as you can see there, and it will enable you to unlock loads of cool stuff and give it a try. And then, when you actually come to play the game, you know exactly what weapon you're going for, what scope you're going for, and the configuration that you want. So, that's one of the good ways to sort out what you're going to do in respect to Planetside when it gets released. And now, obviously, there's not a release date at the moment, but, you know, could be February 2013, something like that. I don't know. 5 to 6 months of beta, maybe after that, polish, release, all the rest of it. Funky, funky stuff. So, let's have a look at the weapon for this yellow and blue Smurf. So this is the primary weapon, secondary weapon, and healing device, and tank. So here is the standard weapon for the combat medic, and what we're going to do is just off the hip firing. Oh, look at that recoil. Let's see the reload speed. There we go. Reload speed a little bit slower than its Terran Republic alternative, but the recoil pattern seems significantly less than the Terran Republic. So, the spread is about the same, I would say. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at down the sight. So, here's down the sight, no recoil control at all. So, you can see essentially it's more of a line. So, if you are going to fire fully magged, full mag at somebody, essentially aim at their feet and keep firing. Now, let's do a down the sight shot with some recoil control by pulling the mouse downwards in a very gentle movement. So here we go. This is fully auto, remember? Look at that. Look at that, the difference that recoil control makes. This kind of thing, guys, takes practice. Now, obviously, you can do burst fire. That will be advantageous. Maximum accuracy, minimum recoil. And as you can see, look at that, even better than that option. But you might be faced with a situation where you need to unload an entire mag. So let's check out the pistol. Now, the pistol, single shots, semi-automatic, as you can see. Reload speed extremely fast. This essentially is a get out of jail free card for running away and oh heavens above. Oh no, it's going badly. Oh, we recovered it. There we go. So, let's see what the recoil pattern of this pistol is like if we fire the entire magazine. Allows for pretty rapid fire, even though it's single shot. Recoil pattern is about what you would expect from a pistol. Let's do down the sight. Recoil about the same, although the accuracy, there's less side-to-side movement, as you can see from the bullets. Now, obviously, if you're sniping with a pistol, yes, I know, some people do, you can fire double shot. Things like that. So you can see the patterns. There was a few bullets around here, but they've obviously disappeared. That, essentially, boys and girls, is your inside look at the Combat Medic. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves with this in the closed beta and heal lots and lots of people. Thanks for watching this inside look. This is Chadman signing off. Laters.